Okay, welcome to the next monster video. This is the cult best monster films. Like, I've done the mainstream ones, these are the cultier ones, the ones that are some people might have heard of, but a lot of people won't have heard of because they're not like amazingly well-known films. But if you're a monster fan, you'll know them. But if you're not a monster fan, you won't know them. So I'm going to start off with another good Toro film, which is Cronos. I mean, any of his Spanish language films kind of come into this. Devil's Backbone. Pan's Labyrinth is more well known, but Devil's Backbone might be my favourite. But Cronos is a real monster movie. Devil's Backbone is more a ghost story. So I went to Cronos. And Cronos is wonderful. It was the first Del Toro film I saw. It made me fall in love with the director straight away just because how good it was and how different it was from the mainstream American horror films. It was this weird Mexican film about a good man who gets infected by the Cronos machine, becomes a vampire, and this idea of extending life and how it affects you, how it rots you from the inside, and how it's just the atmosphere of it all. And it's that thing where it's a film with a purity that the director will never have again. So even if the director himself might think it's a bit flawed, as a viewer, you just see that this is beautiful, this is an amazing start to a career, this is just wonderful. And it put Del Toro on the map for a very long time, just one film. That we got him through Mimic, which Mimic was a bit of a failure. And then it led to Devil's Backbone and Blade 2. This reputation of this film was so good. Even though it wasn't a big film, I get people who watched it who were in the film industry saw the talent. It really helped Del Toro a lot for a long time. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really good. I've tried to avoid telling you too much. You have to watch it. It's such a good film. Now we're going for Cronenberg. Obviously, you're going to do a Cronenberg film, a monster movie. But since his early films are not that well known, I mean, like, when you get to the Scanners time, they became well known. But some of his early stuff, like Rabid or Shivers, are less well known. Even though they've had remakes and things of Rabid, it's still an era that's less well known to the mainstream. A lot of people didn't even know Rabid was a remake, probably. But Shivers is the creme de la creme of early Cronenberg, like, horror. It's just disturbing as hell. Even now, even though some of the acting is not great, it was a low budget, they didn't have much time to make this film. The atmosphere and the ideas are so good. This bland building that houses these monsters that go inside you and turn you into a sex addict, so you'll want to have sex with anybody, anything living, and you'll infect them, and it'll create this idea of this metaphor of this disease that's going through this whole environment. It turns these people into animals to their sex drive, and also makes them violent, and these creatures look very turd-like, but they also look like penises, and it's weird, and it's disturbing, it's like, ugh. It's wonderful, and it's really dark, and no matter how weak some of the performances are, some of them are quite good, but some of them are really weak, the ideas just make this really disturbing, and it's such a good film. So that's another great monster movie. That's a cult film. Okay, now we have Ray Harryhausen. This is Valley of the Guandri. This is like Dinosaurs vs Cowboys. This is a film. It was released in the 60s. It was part of that Ray Harryhausen series of films. It wasn't Sinbad. It wasn't Jason. It wasn't the early sci-fi stuff. It came out. It was well received, but it never really had the push. It was too kiddie for some. We didn't appreciate its charms. But it's wonderful. It's a really wonderful film. So that's why it's a cult film. It was one of the ones that released at Harryhausen. It's not one of his famous ones, but it is a very good one. And it took years to actually really be seen. It's one of the Harryhausen films that was never released till later. It was like in video and DVD and things. It was the harder one to find. I mean, the Sinbad ones are easy to find. Jason Argonauts are easy to find. These ones weren't. These 60s ones weren't. But they are wonderful. They're all wonderful films. They're all great to watch. And Valley of Guandri is the one I chose because I'm really fond of that one. But all of them from that period I really enjoy. So Valley of Guandri, go see it. And show it to kids. Kids will love this one. I mean, kids will really get this one. Now we have Johnny's Beginning of Time, Karl Zemek's great film from Eastern Europe, the 60s. It's amazing. I've done a video on it, raving about how good it is. I guess another film it should be better known than it is, because it is beautiful, because it's basically these kids go into this cave, so it's a child's film, into a cave, then it starts slowing back in time, through dinosaurs, into the far past of the basically the swamps and everything. But it's still a children's film. It's still a children's adventure film. But it is beautiful. It's just one of the most beautiful films ever made. And it should be better known than it is. It's just wonderful. It's just a beautiful film. So go see my video on it, then go watch the film. It is great. It is so good. That's all I've got to say. Go see it. It's wonderful. Now we have Nightbreed. Nightbreed is Clive Barker's wonderful, wonderful, flawed film about monsters in Canada. Yeah, basically, this was butchered on release. This was a film that was released really. A big studio made it, then they didn't like it, they didn't understand it, so they dumped it in February with a terrible release pattern, and no one saw it. And then slowly but surely over the years, people started to see it, and it's become a cult item. There's been a director's cut, which brings back a lot of footage. So I definitely recommend watch director's cut first. Director's cut's better. It's better paced. The story makes much more sense. But if you can only see the original cut, it's still worth watching. It's just not as good. But it is a wonderful film. It is an atmospheric film. You've got serial killers made by David Cronenberg. You've got crazy priests. You've got crazy sheriffs and rednecks. You've got monsters fighting them. You've got a lot of crazy monsters as well. It is just wonderful. You have biblical prophecies that are very paganistic. It's got everything you really want from a monster movie. And it's not well known. It's known by certain people, but it's not well known enough. So hopefully that will change over time. But again, go see it. It's really good. Now we have Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. Now, From Beyond is a wonderful film. It's just insane. I mean, it really is insane. It delivers so much, just shows you so much great stuff, but it's really weird. Because it's one of those ones that's like, it's an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation. It's this follow-up to Reanimator. And weird shit happens throughout it. It's set in one house, but that does not mean it doesn't go crazy, because it does. Jeffrey Combs, being the sane person of the story, who's driven mad by circumstances. You've got all these other character actors acting through the film. Everyone's having a blast. Everyone's going crazy. There's lots of weird sexual innuendo. Lots of scantily-clad women. Lots of monsters. Just craziness all the way through the film. It is just wonderful. You can go see it. And look at that monster. Or is it here? Or where is it? There's a monster. Anyway, look at the monster in the picture. Doesn't that mean you want to watch this film? From Beyond, go see it. Now we have a Larry Cohen film, Q the Winged Serpent, which is just wonderful. It stars Michael Moriarty as a guy who finds the resting spot of this serpent that has grown from an egg, that's now going around killing people. So it's partially about the monster. It was in a Chrysler building, which is another big monster building in New York. It's not the King Kong building. And the police are trying to kill it. They try to find where it's nested. Michael Moriarty figures it out, and he tries to sell it to the police to make a profit. So it's a mix of a street level story of people trying to make a living and a monster movie, and shoot 'em ups and everything else. It's obviously low budget. It's obviously get very little money, but it actually gives a lot of character actors some fun dialogue to say to each other, and it is just a wonderfully fun film. So it's another one. It's culty. You may not have heard of it, but any Larry Cohen film from the 70s and 80s with a monster in it is worth seeing. They're not very polished films, but they are eccentric and fun. So enjoy this one. Okay, now it's Brian Yunza's Society. Now, Yunza had produced From Beyond, but I didn't direct it. So I use one director per film, per list type of thing. But he only produced the other one, so I like him a bit. Because this one is a perfect classic cult monster movie, where the monster is the rich. The rich are feeding off the poor, and are mutating behind the scenes and having weird sex with each other, and are living off the poor, and are total snobs, they're utter scumbags, and they deserve a horrible death. So it's a very anti-Reagan, it's a Reagan-era film, very anti-Reagan, very anti-rich. Very much the rich are monsters, or literal monsters. It's a lot of fun. It's really weird, really enjoyable, but twisted as hell. I mean, the first half's a soap opera, which makes the second half even better because you don't really invest in the characters that much. You just invest in their over the topness and the weirdness of the society that is not quite right, but it is like a soap opera then because it's more of a horror movie and it kind of works. The same with Starship Troopers kind of works where it's kind of a soap opera in the first half intentionally. Like both these films, you get a feeling the director knew exactly what he was doing. He was setting up this world by hiring people who were in that world in the first place. So it's wonderful. Go see it. So we now have rare exports. Killer Santa Claus movie. There you go. Perfect film for Christmas. Santa Claus, the original Santa Claus, not the one we've created, the original one that had to be buried in snow because he was a psychopath, Santa, St. Nick, who is brought back to life because some capitalists are building or digging. He gets released and goes on a killing spree, and these farmers who are basically trying to survive have to stop him. That's the movie. That's it. That's all it is. It's wonderful. It's insane. And it's not well known enough. You have all these Santa Claus movies that are making him sentimental, but this one is the pure psycho Santa Claus movie. I mean, some people think it's Suddenly Deadly Night, but no, it's this one. Because that other one really was just a wannabe. This is Santa Claus psychopath. The real Santa killing people. Go watch it. You know, it's from a foreign language, so don't give me any shit about subtitles. Go watch it. The final film is the most modern one. It's A Colour Out of Space. It's still culty because it's still a kind of weird Nicolas Cage movie. It's still like Mandy. Not enough people know of it yet. I mean, it's definitely grown already. It's released this year. Richard Stanley directed it. It gets weirder and weirder throughout the film. Nicolas Cage managed to go full Cage with lots of weird Lovecraft stuff, which is perfect. It's just great. This is wonderful. I've done a review of it. Go see my channel to see the review. But even if you haven't seen the review, go see this film. It's readily available everywhere. You have no excuse. If you want a weird, good, culty monster movie, this is it from this year. This is the one. So, I hope you enjoyed this list. You know, it was fun to do the cult one. Actually, this was an easier list to write than the other one. Because the other one, the mainstream one was less fun than this one. Finding these really weird horror movies, which took me about 2 seconds. Because this. You know, for me, this one's an easy list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back soon with some more. Because I have some more videos planned that should be fun. Right, bye for now.